Let's go ahead and tag in our guest Seth here. And is this going to be something that's from your history or something that you've written?
No, this is something from my history.
Oh, okay.
I did not have any spook or specter come to me. I was stupid and went looking because that's what you do when you're young and invincible. And I've
my story already.
Right. Well, I mean, I've always had. I grew up in Dallas, Georgia. We had 2 paved roads and a red light.
Oh, another Georgia boy too.
At 7 o'clock, the red light quit working and it was just flashing red. Like, I remember the sheriff would stand out and flip the switch and turn off the red light. I mean, I grew up, the pig man, all that kind of stuff, we heard that. You know, there was always, well, you don't go near the old gray house, which was the family, not the color. The color was dilapidated white because it was an abandoned house. But I'd always been fascinated by ghost stories. North Carolina, Tennessee, you know, Georgia, and if you've ever been in a small town, there's a power to that. I don't know if it's the power of belief or what, but there's something to that. Well, if you go outside of Connooga, up in the North Georgia mountains, there's an old story about a rich miser who passed away. And at his funeral, and this was back before there was a hearse, it was a funerary carriage, the horses could not pull it. Brought in some workhorses, could not pull it. They said after about 3 hours of pulling, there was a great rumble, and a large black dog leaped from the casket. After that, funeral proceeded fine. Dog was said to haunt the old grounds of the house. Me and Philip and Joe, 2 friends of mine from high school, we decided we were going to be stupid. We were going to go find this house, see if we could find this dog. Is this not real? Well, you know, you learn some hard lessons in life. And the best way I've found to find these things is find the oldest convenience store, general store, whatever you can, because 9 times out of 10, the guy who runs it has been running it for 50, 60 years and can tell you. And I mean, this was 99, so most things were pay at the pump. These were the old school where this was unleaded, this was diesel. And you had to get out and you had to pull the switch up, and it was not digital at all. The old click letters.
My town still has that. I live in Mayberry 2.0, so I hear you.
Okay. Well, and we finally found a guy who goes, yeah, I know that house. He goes, you go to the dirt road, turn down the tractor trail.
Love it.
I grew up with directions like that. That was always ours. Second house on the right past the trailer park. You know.
Don't hit the magnolia bush.
Right, when you come... My favorite was when you pass the burned down barn.
Oh, shit.
Is there anything left of the barn? How do I know it's the burned down barn? Well, you'll see the door still standing.
You can't.
Perfect. There's a standing door for no building. And it was turn down the tractor trail. You'll go about 3 miles and you'll see the old gates. We said, okay, I can find a tractor trail. And we did. We found the tractor trail, went about 3 miles, and you could see it. The gates had rusted and rotted and fallen off the hinges, but you could still kind of see the stonework. And we were like, oh, well, let's go up to the house, because it's eat up. There's no way what we were driving, an old Bronco, no 4x4, just an old Bronco, could make it. So we go walking up to the house. You can see the columns. The house is collapsed in, burned down, moonshine, whatever. I have no idea what happened in the house, but you could still see the bases of the columns. And we're there, and it was probably 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're, looking around, making jokes about the dog, barking, being jackasses, because you're young, you're a jackass. And we heard this massive crashing from the direction of the car.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Well, we're not brave enough, as Mr. Gilbreth was, to go investigate. But the sound is coming closer. We hauled ass to a big oak tree and climbed up in it. And we sat there waiting as beneath us the grass was rustling, and you could see it rustling. And I mean, this stuff was, I'm 6'3", this stuff was 3 foot tall.
Yeah, uncut grass.
Yeah. God only knows how we didn't break an ankle or anything else running through that garbage. We get there and you see the grass and you hear something knocking at the bottom of the tree. Never get any kind of vision on this thing. see the trail like kind of, it stops moving. And we sat in that tree for what was either 10 minutes or 2 hours. I have no idea which, didn't bother to check my watch. I was going, oh God, we're going to die. And I remember Joe leaned over and he goes, do you think it's gone? I am a jackass. I will admit it, because if it's me or you, it's you. And I go, I don't know, check.
I don't have to outrun it, I just have to outrun it.
Right, if it's eating you, I'm good. I will tell anyone, like I told my football coach, God made me for power, not speed. He falls down, and it started with shit and ended with something that was indecipherable. And he got up mad, and at that, Philip and I jumped down. We're like, well, you're alive, it's gone. And we bolted as fast as we could toward those gates. And I heard Philip go, holy shit. We stopped and turned around. Standing on the door, on the steps, in between those columns, was the biggest fucking dog I've ever seen. And I mean, this was not a wild dog. It was not eat with mange. It wasn't nappy. This was some form of wolfhound mixed with Rottweiler. If it was a dog, I don't know.
It's like the hound of the Baskervilles right there.
Yeah. And we're going, oh shit. At that point, we didn't stop. We were looking over our shoulders, admiring as we're hauling ass to the car. And at that point, our ghost-seeking days were done. We're done. And you know, and I tried.
One episode in that series.
I'm done, yeah. I try to temper everybody's stories with Shakespeare's. There's more things under heaven and earth than are allowed for in your philosophy. Because, I mean, you know, I'm from a Baptist background as well. You know, we have faith that we know. But there's a lot of room around the concrete to where you don't ever know what can exist outside of what you allow for. So, and that is my encounter with being a jackass and young and what I perceive to be the supernatural. So.